Welcome back to another episode on the Coaching from My Wheelchair podcast. I'm your host, Coach Jay. Let me ask you something. How often do you find yourself consumed by thoughts of the past or worries about the future? How much of your day is spent replaying mistakes or stressing about what might happen tomorrow? If you're anything like most people, the answer is probably a lot. But here's the thing. Life isn't happening in the past or the future. It's happening right now. And when you learn to embrace the present moment, you unlock a calmer, more fulfilling way to live. In today's episode, we're diving deep into the concept of realizing and practicing the power of now. We're going to explore what it means to practice the power of now, why it's so important, and how you can begin applying it in your daily life. We'll also talk about the challenges of staying present, the benefits of this practice, and some actionable steps to help you develop this life-changing habit. Plus, as always, I'll share personal stories and real-life coaching examples and answer some frequently asked questions to make these concepts practical and relatable. So, if you're ready to stop the overwhelming, get grounded, and start living fully in the moment, let's dive in. First, let's start with the basics. What is the power of now? The power of now is all about focusing on the present moment. It's about fully engaging with what's happening right now instead of letting your mind get caught up in regrets about the past or worries about the future. Imagine this. You're sitting in a park. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, and there's a gentle breeze. But instead of enjoying this peaceful moment, your mind is replaying a conversation from yesterday or stressing about tomorrow's deadlines. You're physically in the park, but mentally, you're somewhere else. That's what happens when we lose touch with the present. The power of now brings you back to what's real. The sights, sounds, and sensations of this very moment. It helps you slow down, breathe, and truly experience life as it's unfolding. Now, you might be wondering, if the present is so important, why is it so hard to stay there? There are a few reasons. First, our minds are wired to analyze and problem solve, which often pulls us into the past or the future. Also, distractions. With endless notifications, emails, and to-do lists, it's easy to lose sight of what's happening right now. Lastly, cultural pressure. We live in a society that glorifies multitasking and constant productivity, making it hard to slow down and simply be. But here's the good news. Staying present is a skill you can develop with practice, and the more you practice, the easier it becomes. So, why should you care about practicing the power of now? Let me share a personal story that might resonate. A few years ago, I was juggling multiple responsibilities: work, family, health, you name it. My mind was constantly racing with thoughts like, what do I need to do next? Did I handle that situation the right way? What if something goes wrong tomorrow? I was physically present, but mentally, I was somewhere else. It wasn't until I hit a point of complete burnout that I realized something needed to change. That's when I discovered the power of now. By learning to focus on the present moment, I started feeling more grounded, less stressed, and more connected to the people around me. Here's what I learned. Stress levels drop when you stop worrying about things you can't control. Relationships deepen when you truly listen and engage with others in the moment. Productivity improves when you focus on one task at a time instead of trying to juggle everything at once. And most importantly, life feels more meaningful when you're fully present to experience it. Practicing the power of now offers so many benefits, mentally, emotionally, and even physically. Let's take a closer look at some of them. 1. Reduce stress and anxiety. When you focus on the present, you stop worrying about things that already happened or might happen in the future. This shift in focus can significantly reduce stress and anxiety. 2. Stronger relationships. Think about your last meaningful conversation. Were you fully engaged, or were you distracted by your phone or your own thoughts? Practicing the power of now helps you become a better listener and connect more deeply with the people in your life. 3. Improve focus and productivity. Staying present helps you give your full attention to the task at hand. This not only makes you more efficient, but also allows you to produce higher quality work. 4. Increased happiness. When you're present, you're more likely to notice the little joys in life, the warmth of the sun, the sound of laughter, or the taste of your favorite meal. These small moments add up to a greater sense of happiness. 5. Enhance creativity. Being present clears your mind of distractions, making room for creative ideas to flow. Now that we've talked about the benefits, let's get into some actionable steps you can take to start practicing the power of now. 1. Do not judge your thoughts. Instead of labeling your thoughts as good or bad, simply observe them. Let them pass like clouds in the sky. This practice helps you stay grounded without getting caught up in mental chatter. 2. Practice gratitude daily. Spend a few minutes each day reflecting on what you're grateful for. Gratitude shifts your focus away from what's missing and brings you back to the abundance of the present moment. 3. Use your senses. When your mind starts to wander, anchor yourself by tuning into your senses. What do you see, hear, smell, taste, or feel right now? This simple exercise can instantly bring you back to the present. 4. Set intentions, not expectations. Instead of stressing over specific outcomes, focus on the process. For example, instead of saying, I must finish this project perfectly, say, I'm going to give this project my best effort. 5. Take tech breaks. Technology is one of the biggest barriers to staying present. Try scheduling screen-free periods during the day to reconnect with yourself and your surroundings. Let me share a story about one of my coaching clients, Sarah. Sarah was a busy professional who always felt like she was falling behind. She came to me feeling overwhelmed and disconnected from her family and friends. We started small, encouraging her to take 5 minutes each morning to sit quietly and focus on her breathing. Over time, we added gratitude journaling and mindful listening to her routine. Within a few months, Sarah told me she felt calmer, happier, and more connected to the people around her. Her story is proof that small, intentional changes can make a big difference. Before we wrap up, let's address some frequently asked questions about practicing the power of now. How can I stay present when my mind keeps wandering? That's normal. Minds are wired to wander. The key is to notice when it happens and gently bring your focus back to the present. Can I still plan for the future while practicing the power of now? Absolutely. Practicing the power of now doesn't mean ignoring the future. It means balancing planning with mindfulness. Focus on what you can do right now to create the future you want. How does practicing the power of now improve relationships? When you're present, you listen more deeply and respond more thoughtfully. This builds trust and strengthens your connections with others. What if I feel too busy to practice mindfulness? Start small. Even a few minutes of focused breathing or gratitude journaling can make a big difference over time. Here are my final thoughts on embracing the now. Practicing the power of now is one of the most transformative habits you can develop. It helps you feel more grounded, less stressed, and more connected to the people and experiences that matter most. Remember, the present moment is a gift. That's why it's called the present. By embracing it, you open yourself up to a calmer, more fulfilling life. And that's a wrap for today, folks. Thank you for joining me today on Coaching from My Wheelchair podcast. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe, share it with someone who might need it, and leave a review.
You can also buy a copy of Coach Jay's book, Coaching from My Wheelchair: Tips, Tidbits, Tools, and Strategies for Improving Your Personal and Professional Self-Development, available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. You can also connect with him on social media, on Instagram at TWCCSLLC, and you can also find him on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and through his website at therightcoachingservices.com/podcasts.
Thanks for tuning in, and remember to stay educated, stay informed, and learn something new. Until next time, this is Coach Jay.